forward and back, gentle rocking motion, nothing crazy. Now lift that left leg, take it over across to the right side of your body, forward and back, gentle rocking motion, nothing crazy. Take a peek around and find that right or left foot on your right side. Get that nice stretch up through your left quadratus lumborum. Okay, now that we've found those quadratus lumborums, let's go ahead and lie down on our left side or whatever side facing me. And we're going to record this. Okay, so we're on our side. And I want you lined up, particularly from the hips to the shoulder. Come on down so you're flat to the floor. You can have your head propped up or you can have it down on your arm, all right? You're going to use your hand as a kickstand in front of you. What I want you to do is kind of glue both your legs together. We're going to be working this area of the body right here. So I want you to lift the legs up, hold them, hold them, hold them. So what we're doing is we're bringing the top of the hip towards the rib, same muscle we just worked, and take it down. So don't think of lifting from your legs. Think of lifting from right here. Go ahead and lift. So we're squeezing right here. It's all coming in from here. Keep a tight squeeze. You can put your hand there and feel it and take it down. And go ahead and lift. Remember, we're engaging from our waistline. We used to call these waist whittlers. And take it down. That was probably a 90s term. Go ahead and lift it up. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Keep holding it. And take it down. Now, if any of this is causing you stress in your back, just lift one leg up, but don't go terribly high, okay? Let's take both legs and lift. So as we're lifting both legs, we are using the inside of this leg as well. Those are your adductor muscles. We've got to keep those strong. So to avoid back pain, we need all our muscles all around our pelvic area, front and back, to be lined up properly. So our spine fits nicely down into our pelvic area. It doesn't get jammed up in that low back. Let's do one more of these and then we're going to switch sides. Go ahead and take it up. And down. I tell you what, before we switch sides, go ahead and take your bottom leg and bend it back. You're going to use it for a kickstand. You're going to take your top leg, lift it up, just kind of straight out from your hip, not much higher. And let's just circle that top leg. If you want your kickstand back, you can keep it here because you want to keep your upper body still. You do want to hold in your core. And let's circle back. So now we've taken the strengthening move from up here in our quadratus lumborum down to our gluteus medius. So we're working this. This is what moves us when we walk. You need strong hip muscles right here. And what we're going to do next is we're going to line our feet up. We're going to bend our knees back. So your feet are going to be in line with your hips. Your knees kind of come forward. I said bend them back, but you're bending your knees. Bring your knees a little forward of your body so your feet are lined up with your hips. And from here, I just want you to open up the knee and then press it back together. Open up the knee. These are called clamshells. And press it back together. Open up the knee and press it back together. What I don't want to see is you rocking back and leaning back. We're using this joint right here. We're not using the torso. So go ahead and open the knee, keeping everything here as still as possible. Press it back together. Open the knee. Press it back together. Okay, now let's flip over to the other side. All right, everybody. Time for equal opportunity. We'll get this other side going. Get yourself lined up. If you want your head flat on the ground, you can do that. You want your legs straight out from your side. So you want a nice straight body. I don't want you leaning forward. I don't want you leaning back. If you can't lift the legs very high, to stay in this plane, do not lean. So go ahead and give yourself a kickstand. Remember, we're working from the top of the hip to the bottom of the rib on the back side of the body. You're going to lift both legs up. Now, you might find one side is way more challenging than the other, and take it down. That's because we're not all symmetrical. Our goal is to get our body symmetrical, but we're not always symmetrical. So go ahead and lift. Hold it. Remember, we're holding it from right here in the waist. Nice and strong, nice and strong. And take it down. And let's lift again. The legs are not lifting us. This little muscle right here, this nice strong quadratus lumborum, your QL is lifting you. It's holding your hips straight, and take it down. So if you can, if you don't need your kickstand, put your hand there. That's going to guide your body to say, let's use this first. So tighten up right here and lift, lift, lift. Hold that lift, hold that lift, and take it down. We're going to do that one more time. So go ahead and put your mind in your muscle here. Put your mind in your QL. This is an anatomy lesson too. Go ahead and lift, lift, lift. Hold it strong. You are strong. And take it down. Good job. Good job. So let's go ahead and bend our bottom leg back. And we're just going to lift this top leg up and down. So go ahead and lift and lower with purpose. Don't just like throw your leg up and then let it drop down. You're lifting from your hip here. Lift, lift, lift. We're not rocking forward or back, and we're pushing the inside of our leg back down. Go ahead and lift and lower and lift and lower. We've got 3 more. Go ahead and lift. Remember, there's purpose in every inch of this movement. Push your leg back down. The slower we go, sometimes the more effective it is. Lower. When we're rushing through our movements and our exercises, we tend to use momentum instead of muscle. We're using muscle today. And lower. Okay, we're going to go into our clamshell. So what I want you to do is bend both knees, but bring your knees a little bit in front of your body. So your feet are lined up with your hips. And now we're going to open our knees apart. No rocking. We're not rocking. We're just going where the leg can open. And then we're pressing and squeezing our leg back together. And we're going where our leg can open. And we're going to press and squeeze our legs together. Now, I want you to take a peek at your knees when you squeeze your legs together. Get that top one lined up with the bottom one. We have a tendency to shift back like this. I want both knees lined up. So that's going to take a little muscle to keep that there. So go ahead and open your leg. And then you're going to feel it right here. Push your leg back together. Use that inner thigh. Keep that top leg pushing forward, even with that bottom leg. Opening and closing. You got your clamshells here. Opening and closing. And press. Open. And press. One more. Open. And press. All right, we're going to go on our backs. We're going to use our lower abdominals. If you have a yoga block handy, grab it. If you have a little pillow for your head, take the time to grab it. I'm sorry I didn't give you the heads up before when we started this class, but we're going to grab our little props. If you don't have either one, we can work through that. I'm going to use a little ball for the back of my head because I just want to tilt my chin towards my chest. This is our signature core engagement move. And a friend of mine owns a program called One Core Repair.
He teaches you through a whole session of how to engage your lower abdominals. If you have had abdominal surgery, I highly recommend it. Get a hold of me if you would like to try that. But what I want you to do is I want you to take the yoga block. If you have it, put it between your knees. If you don't, you're just keeping your knees lined up with your hips. You're going to take both palms and you're going to plant them into the floor. So you're going to push your palms into the floor, not through the floor, but into the floor. And I want you to tilt your chin to your chest so you're rounding your neck, because we're going to round our low back into the floor. So from here, I want you to take your belly button, pull it in, and lower your whole spine to the floor. We're not lifting the hips up off the floor, but your pubic bone right here is tilting towards your nose. So hold that tilt. It's just a subtle tilt, and then release it. So we're getting some neural engagement. We're going to really tell these muscles to start working. We're getting neural engagement by planting our hands into the floor. So you got, look, your palms are suction cups into the floor. Chin to your chest. Pull your navel into your spine and let that pubic bone tilt toward your nose. And I want you to hold this. Hold it. So you're rounding your low back into the floor. And I will tell you this time and time again, when you're rounding your low back, you want your neck to be rounding too. They like the low back and neck like to move in the same direction. So go ahead and release that tilt. We're going to do this one more time. So you're going to push your hands into the floor. You're going to tilt your chin towards your chest. You're going to pull your navel into your spine as your pubic bone gently tilts up. All these muscles, our abdominal muscles, are shortening in this lower part of the abdominal. They're pushing in, they're squeezing, they're getting strong, they're getting tight, and release. The stronger these are, the more your spine will be stable, the less pain you will have. One last time, press your palms into the floor. This is such a great exercise. Just make sure you do all these cues. Drop your chin to your chest. You're looking at the top of your knees. Pull your navel into your spine. You're tilting the pubic bone up toward your nose, and you're holding. Keep holding. And I hope you're all breathing. Gotta breathe. And drop it. Or just let it go. Okay, so let's take the pillow out from behind our head. If you have one, if you have a yoga block, you can keep it between your knees. We're going to engage our glutes on the back side. So we're going to do some lifts, but we're doing these moves with purpose like we did before. We're going to take every advantage of every inch of this move. So your arms are down along by your side. You're going to squeeze your glute cheeks, your rear end together. Squeeze it hard. Go ahead and squeeze. Now, once you've got that squeeze going, I want you to lift the hips up off the floor. You're pushing into your feet. You're lifting your hips nice and slow. We'll try to keep these hip bones right here level as you lift them straight up to the ceiling. Now, I want you to hold that. I want you to hold that squeeze. We're still squeezing from the time we started at the bottom. I want you to hold that squeeze as we lower it down. Keep those hip bones level. Keep them steady. Keep them steady. You're still squeezing. Now you release it. So we're going to do it again. We're taking momentum out. We're putting the muscle in. So squeeze your glutes, lift your hips, pushing into your feet, slowly lifting up, Think of these pointy hip bones going straight up to the ceiling. Yes, we all have pointy hip bones. Keep them up there. Keep it tight as we lower it down, and release. Now, if you're feeling any kind of cramping up the back of your leg, don't go as high. Take it back down. Lift and lower where you're in a comfort zone, where you're using your glutes, not any other part of your body. We're going to do that one more time. So you squeeze your glutes, squeeze them, and then lift your hips. Keep lifting if you can. Stop where you have to, but you're going to keep squeezing. Stay with me through the whole movement, no matter how high you get. And I want you to continue to keep those hips level and steady as we lower it down. Once again, we're using muscle, not momentum. And now you can release it. So we're going to concentrate on how our movement is when we walk. So when we walk, we initiate all these moves with our hips. So we've already got those all engaged. We've got them all fired up. And now we're going to look at flexion and extension. So when one leg's out and one leg's back. So I want you to straighten your left leg. And I want you to bring your right knee up towards your chest where it can go. I don't want you to pull it in. I just want you to take it where it naturally goes. And I want you to take your right hand and put it in front of your right knee. And now I want you to press your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee. And you'll get a little tilt through this pelvic area. You'll get a little tilt. You're pulling your navel in. We're emphasizing flexion on the right side, extension on the left. This is the position we're in when we're walking. And release it. Let's switch legs. So extend that right leg out and bring the left knee up where it can go. You might find this side might not go as far, or it might go farther. Go ahead and put your block up here. Now I want you to take your hand and press it into your knee and your knee into your hand at the same time. This is a nice isometric move. So keep pushing, but keep breathing. Do not hold your breath while you're doing isometrics. And let's release it. We're going to switch sides. So we're engaging our walk before we go out for a walk. If you're a walker, this is a great move to do before you go walking. And I would do 3 to 6 on each side. So pull your navel into your spine, push your knee into your chest or into your hand and hand into the knee. Got a wall going here. You've got a wall. You're getting a gentle tilt. We actually have a joint right here in the middle of our pubic bone that separates it. So when we walk, we get that nice wiggle. All right, let's switch legs. Go ahead and bring that knee up. You might get a little farther this time. Knee into hand, hand into knee. Keep breathing, keep breathing. Keep breathing. Push it, push it. We're opening up these joints and take it down. Let's do it one more time each side. Bring it up. Are you getting a little closer to your chest here? I hope so. Push your knee into your hand into your knee. Keep breathing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And switch. One last time on this side. So bring that knee in. Push your knee into your hand into your knee. Give it a push. We're getting a tilt through that pubic bone, through that pelvis. We're getting our wiggle in our walk. It's all good. And take it down. All right, let's sit up. So go ahead and sit up. Let's do a crisscross of the legs. And once you get your crisscross, I want you to take it and uncross it and cross it the other way. Our body just gets adapted to doing the same thing, so we got to take it out of that adaptation. So let's just go ahead and do some circles. We've got those hips nice and loose, but more importantly, we've got them strong. We didn't yank on these joints. We actually contracted muscles and got these joints moving and got that tightness to go away because we made other muscles strong. So instead of yanking on your joints and trying to get them to go where you want them to go, move into that. Move into that position you want to get into with purpose. And you might not get as far as you want to go when you're just yanking on and stretching. But as you keep doing it, you'll get farther and farther. So let's do one more little strengthening stretch for our hip flexors. So take one leg behind and one leg in front. You're going to make a kickstand of one hand behind you. And we're going to come up to our knees. I like to call this the triangle because we have a little triangle with our body. So push up to your knees, reach up. So what I want you to think about is arm to arm going straight across in a nice straight line. We've got a wingspan like an eagle. So reach that wingspan over, reach, reach, reach.
You're squeezing, squeeze this glute on the backside. This is gonna open this up. So squeeze that glute and reach. Let's take it down. Let's switch sides. All right, so hand goes behind you. Remember, we're gonna end up with a long wingspan, okay? So push up to your knees, squeeze your glute on the back side. This is gonna open this hip flexor up in the front. So instead of just stretching it and yanking on it, we're opening it because we're pushing through with our glute. We're squeezing from the back side. We've got a nice wingspan here. And take it down. All right, let's do a few windshield wipers before we finish. Then we'll be all done. So I hope you've gotten a nice warm up today. I hope your hips and spine are all lubed up. And you're going to bring your feet a little wider than hip width apart and just drop your legs gently to the left. Let the hips roll now. That hip can roll up off the mat and drop it over to the other side. Get a little movement through the spine as well. So we're moving the whole body, bringing out the spine a little bit, working through the organs, getting all your juices flowing. Take it back to the middle. Have a seat. Go to your natural crisscross. Take a big breath up. Blow it out. Feel these lungs really spill up as we take our next breath. Bring it up. And bring the palms together. Bring them down in front of your chest. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Chris. Have an awesome, awesome day.
You too. Hey, did you get the ketones figured out for your daughter?
No, I didn't.
I woke up thinking about that. Yeah, just put it through regular, not Smart Chip.
Okay.
If you need help, let me know.
Say that again.
If you need help, let me know.
You're thebomb.com. Thank you.